Hi, it's Sarah here. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great day today. We're going to be doing a talk today on narcissistic behavior. So everybody has, or most people have a slight narcissistic streak to them. But the problem occurs if somebody that is very strong. So a narcissist is somebody who is very over-controlling, very manipulative. They might have exploitive or entitled behavior, and they're likely to be very overly critical or over-judgmental. And often this occurs in somebody who has had a hard childhood. They've been wounded as a child, emotionally, mentally, maybe physically, and they're using this behavior to prevent themselves from being hurt. So they use certain techniques known as gaslighting to have you dependent on them and make you stay with them and to control you. So the symptoms of gaslighting. The first symptom is they will tell you blatant lies, even if you have proof. They will tell you that everybody is lying to you. They will eventually have you not knowing what to believe, so in the end you end up questioning your own sanity. They will take away your confidence. They might take away things that are close to you, so they might stop you seeing your family and friends. They might tell you lots of lies about your family and friends, so you don't want to end up seeing them. They might take away your job or something that you enjoy doing. So say, for example, you enjoy doing something with your hands. They might damage your hands so you can't use them. They will be extra nice to you at times, so you become addicted to them, and that ends up confusing you. They can be very charming, so you want to stay. They can tell you that you're crazy and make you feel that you're crazy. And they can tell your friends and family that you are crazy, so that if you end up going to see your family and friends and saying, hey, look, this is going on, your family and friends think you're crazy, so they don't help you. So you end up staying in this relationship. You end up stuck in this relationship because you don't understand what's going on. You may be addicted to the person. You may be very fearful of leaving. You may fear for your safety, etc. So they will try and isolate you as well. They use these techniques very slowly. So it's not, you wouldn't go and meet them and think, okay, and they bombard you with this. It's done very slowly, insidiously, and it's like there is an analogy: the frog in the frying pan or the frog in the saucepan. So if you put a frog into boiling water, it will jump out. Please don't try this at home. It will jump out. But if you put a frog in cold water and just very, very slowly turn up the heat, it won't, and you end up cooking the frog. So that's what happens with these techniques. You don't realize it's happening. They're just slowly creeping up on you until it can be too late sometimes. So, if you recognize these symptoms, or if you realize you've been living with a narcissist and you've already left, the first thing is not to berate yourself, okay? Don't give yourself a hard time for being drawn in, because these people are masters at manipulation. They know what they're doing, and it's all done very cleverly, so don't give yourself a hard time. Secondly, if you're in this kind of relationship, it is not up to you to be a rescuer. You are not responsible for somebody's soul growth. You're not responsible for somebody else's behavior. You're not responsible for healing them, for healing somebody else. So in most cases, the best way is actually to leave that relationship. It may be that you have to leave because you're fearful for your safety anyway, but please note, you don't have to stay with somebody who is like this. It's not your job to heal them or to rescue them. You may feel it is, but it isn't. That's just coming from your own past. The best thing you can do is seek professional help for you, and if you end up staying with somebody, it may be that they they will definitely need to seek professional help. If you do end up staying with somebody, make sure you set really healthy boundaries and make sure you learn all the symptoms of gaslighting so that you recognize it and you don't fall into it again. If you have to leave, and that is recommended, then try and stay with friends and family that are going to support you and don't let you go back. As I say, you get addicted to these kind of people, so there is often you want to leave, but there is a real strong pull. So make sure your family and friends know to prevent you from going back. They can stop you from going back. And your family and friends need extra to give you extra support. You're going to have to learn how to rediscover yourself, discover who you are, discover what you enjoy. So it means spending lots of time just sitting down in stillness, thinking about the things that you would like to do. Start experimenting, going out and finding things that you enjoy. When you're feeling stronger, try and take steps to come out of victimhood. I've got a talk on my Facebook page about coming out of victimhood. But first of all, just think, instead of saying, why me? Poor me, why did this happen to me? Turn it around on its head and say, what did I learn from this? How did I grow from this? And that's one of the first steps of coming out of victimhood. Know that everything happens for a reason. It is a relationship that you chose before you incarnated, or it is a relationship that you've chosen subconsciously for your own learning and growth, or based on your belief system. So you're going to have to spend time looking at your belief system. Spend a couple of weeks walking around with a notebook in your pocket and just be aware of your thoughts and your feelings. What triggers them off? What feelings, what emotions are you feeling? And then see if you can use that information to work out your belief system. If you find out you have a belief, for example, that you're not lovable, then you need to rewrite that belief with, I am lovable. And that means just seeing it over and over again. So write it down lots of times, write it out on post-it notes, say it over and over again, sing it over and over again, set it as a screen reminder, set it as a reminder on your phone. You can record it on your phone overnight and have it playing really, really on a low volume overnight. It's a question of just bombarding yourself with this new belief, and that can take, for something such as a core belief as I'm not lovable, it can take many, many months to rewrite it. So it's just a question of perseverance. And just note your thought patterns, okay? Are you constantly berating yourself? Are you overcritical, over-judgmental of yourself? Are you mean to yourself? Are you pessimistic? Okay, so just be aware of your thought patterns and then turn these around and turn them into something positive. As I say, know that you are worthy and deserving of having a wonderful life. Okay, you do not have to stay with somebody that is like this. You are worthy and deserving. In fact, it is your birthright to have a life of ease and joy and peace and love and abundance and full health and vitality and an amazing relationship. So that is something you might just need to keep repeating to yourself, and just understanding it is your birthright to have that. You are worthy and deserving of having that. You may have to do lots of other things to make you feel deserving. So one thing is just to keep telling yourself, I deserve. You might want to give yourself small treats over and over again, and it hasn't got to be an expensive gift, but just when you're out and about, buy yourself a nice hot chocolate or a nice smoothie or something, and just keep telling yourself, I deserve this, because what you're going to create in your life is what you think you deserve. You will have to learn to forgive the person who did this to you. Again, there's a talk on my Facebook page about forgiveness, and you might have to do some forgiveness work on yourself, because you might feel a bit guilty or ashamed that you actually got fooled into it in the first place. But as I said, please don't. They are very manipulative. It is just that often we actually take on, why did I let myself go down that route? Why didn't I see it? That kind of thing. So you might have those to clear. you will need to have lots of self-love, self-compassion, self-respect, self-trust, and these are things that you're going to have to work on building up. Just a technique to help you with self-love, because when you've been through something like this, it's very hard to feel love and compassion for yourself often. So one technique that you can use is just to imagine yourself surrounded by a huge amount of love and golden light, and you breathe that love and golden light down into the center of your chest, into your heart center. And after a few breaths, you just imagine the light in your heart center getting brighter and brighter. And then after a minute, imagine huge doors opening in front of your chest, and you send that love and that light outwards, and you send it to the planet, or you send it to all the animals, or you send it to all the people. Okay, when you're sending it out, it's going to be returned to you. So you send it out. And then what you can do after that is then imagine it filling up your auric field. So you can imagine yourself being surrounded by a golden ball or a golden egg, and you fill it full of your own love. And then what you do is you pull that love back into you. Okay, so it may be that you can just feel your own love and compassion for yourself, but if not, you can use this technique. And this technique's great to use anyway, because when we've been through this kind of abusive relationship, we put lots of barriers and walls around our heart in an attempt to keep us safe. They're energy barriers of emotions such as fear, grief, unworthiness, that kind of thing. And so you have to break down these walls and barriers, and imagining doors opening and pushing love out is a great way to start to break down those walls and barriers. You can also do the same with your physical heart. Imagine doors opening in your physical heart, and you're going to push love out from your physical heart. It may take you many months to feel love. It may take you years to be able to feel love, but just you can keep telling yourself, it's safe for me to feel love. It's safe for me to feel love. Another thing that you may need to do, and I recommend, is breathing into the back of your heart space, because the front of our heart is where we give love. The back of our heart space in the center of our chest is where we receive love, and the back of our physical heart is where we receive love. So repeat the process on the back of your physical heart and heart space. Breathe into the back of your heart and heart space, and imagine doors opening. And these areas, they get blocked up with emotions such as fear, unworthiness, and undeserving. So just imagine pushing that love out of the back of your heart and heart space, and just clear those areas as well. You are going to have to do lots of work on your inner child. So your inner child is that part of you that is fearful and vulnerable. And my opinion is your inner child is your physical body and part of your ego called your id, which is responsible for your safety. So you have to do lots of work on your inner child. So you need to imagine yourself, how old you were in this relationship. You may want to see yourself sitting next to yourself or standing in front of yourself, and you're just going to have to reassure that part of you that they are safe. They are safe to be here, because they are going to be probably feeling really afraid of what's happening, how they got duped. They're likely to be very confused. So you're going to have to give them lots of reassurance that they're safe to be here. You're going to have to tell them how much you love them, how worthy and deserving they are, how lovable they are, that they are enough and divinely perfect, that they are significant, that they matter. Their life is important, that they are worthy and deserving of love, peace, abundance, joy, full health and vitality. They are worthy and deserving of having a wonderful life and a wonderful relationship, etc. If you find this really hard, imagine you're doing it to your best friend, because sometimes it can be hard doing it to ourselves. So if you find this hard, imagine you looking like you, but imagine thinking, okay, this is my best friend, not me. And what would you tell your best friend that's just been through this kind of relationship? So lots and lots of reassurance. And if you can imagine yourself hugging them, giving them lots of cuddles, you might want to rub their back, anything like that to reassure them that they're safe. You will also need to clear the stuck emotional energy from your body. So when we feel an emotion over and over again, it can become stuck emotional energy in our body and energy field. So you are likely to have emotions such as fear, panic, unworthiness, undeserving, grief, worthlessness, maybe guilt, maybe shame, maybe shock, those kinds of emotions. So the best time to release these emotions are when you feel them. So if you feel an emotion like that coming up, you can just note where it is in your body. If you might be able to work out where it is. And if you can, just put your awareness into that part of your body, and you can just send love to that part of your body, and it will release it. You can also say this, let's say fear, you felt fear. You can say this emotion of fear. I feel it, I honor it, I let it go with love. Angels, please take it away. And once you've acknowledged it, then the angelic realm are really happy just to take it away. It's really hard for them to take it away if you haven't acknowledged it, because then it's like they're doing their homework they're doing your homework for you. So you need to acknowledge it and be ready to release it and be happy to release it. Sometimes we hold on to emotions because we don't feel worthy and deserving of letting them go, or something like fear, we don't feel it's safe to let it go because we feel fear can be useful. So as long as you're happy to let it go and ready to release it, then they can take it away. If you feel like you're hanging on to this kind of stuff, you can just keep telling yourself that you are safe to let it go and that you are worthy and deserving to let it go. You will have to do some learning and learn to create techniques. Okay, so when you want to create something, you can create the life that you want. You can create anything in your life. So you might want to create a new relationship, for example. So creating something is pretty simple. It just takes perseverance and an ability to daydream, to imagine, really. So say you're a woman and you wanted a new relationship with a man. What you have to do is just sit quietly and imagine having that relationship with that person as though you were there. So you don't see you and them in the picture. You are there, and you might see yourself holding their hand, for example. You might see them and you are holding their hand. Imagine going out to dinner together. Imagine going out on holiday together. And what's really important, it's not just the seeing it, but it's actually feeling it. So you need to actually feel joy, excitement, and gratitude for actually having it now. So it's not something that although it's going to happen in the future, you need to imagine it as though it is happening now, be thankful for it happening now, and feel as much joy and excitement for it being in your life, because it is that joy and excitement that are going to attract it to you. And then you need to take action steps. So it's not just enough just to imagine it, you have to take action steps. So a good one for bringing in a person is to spend some time writing a list of all the attributes you would like in your person. You know, you might like your man to be very kind, gentle, funny, good looking, etc. And make the list as long as you like, and you know, you deserve the best, so go for everything that you would like in a person. And then you might have to go out to somewhere where there are lots of men, where you might meet lots of men, maybe in a bar or maybe a gym, that kind of thing. Or you may want to join a dating agency, etc. So car places, you know, lots of places where men hang out. So take action steps as well. You can also intend and choose. So we choose lots of things unconsciously, subconsciously, because of our belief system. But you can simply say over and over again, I intend and choose to have ease and peace in my life. I intend and choose to have a wonderful relationship with a beautiful, kind, gentle man, etc., etc. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to use a technique called crisis unwinding technique, just to help you if you have been in a narcissistic relationship. So what you want to do now is just sit down quietly and just shut your eyes. And then all you simply say is, I call upon the Christ light to help me. Now, it doesn't matter what religion you are. Christ light is source energy, and it's going to help everybody. It doesn't matter if you're an atheist, it's going to help. So you sit and quietly ask the Christ light to come in and help you. And then what you're going to do is imagine writing on the inside of your forehead. Now, it doesn't matter about your spelling, it's your intention that counts. And it also matters. You need to be able to read it rather than imagine it's there. If you can't see the writing and you're having to imagine it, you need to just keep telling your mind, it is safe for me to see my writing. It is safe for me to see my writing. Because if your mind is deeming that it is unsafe for you to see this and to change your belief system, then it will prevent you from seeing it. Okay, so this technique, it will help you to rewrite your limiting beliefs, and it will also help you shift some of that stuck emotional energy from your body. So with your eyes shut, you are just going to imagine reading the following sentences across the inside of your forehead. So the first one is, I am safe to be here. And the second one is, I am worthy and deserving of having peace and ease. And then once you've seen your sentences, you're just going to imagine them going up into your head, and they're going to start to make new pathways in your brain. So imagine them weaving left and right and backwards and forwards and around your sentences. And as they're going around and around and up and down and around and around, you're just going to read them as they go around. So I am safe to be here, and I am worthy and deserving of peace and ease. And then when you've done that, you start to see your sentences spiral down through the center of your head. Down and down, around and around, down through your head, down through your neck and throat, down through the center of your chest. And as they're going down through the center of your chest, again, just seeing if you can keep reading them, and you can keep repeating it over and over again. I am safe to be here. I am worthy and deserving of peace and ease. And then seeing your sentences spiraling down through the middle of your belly, down through the middle of your pelvis, down through the gap between your legs. Okay, so imagine the gap between your legs, and the sentence is going to spiral right down in between them. And reading your sentences is going down. I am safe to be here. I am worthy and deserving of peace and ease. And then once your sentence gets to the floor, you can either see it shooting off or see it going into the ground. And then again, you're just going to repeat this. See it going across the inside of your forehead. I am safe to be here. I am worthy and deserving of peace and ease. And then this time you see your sentence, it goes out of your head, and you see it start to go up your left hand. So see it spiraling up and up your left hand, up your left arm, over your left elbow, up the upper part of your arm. Then when it gets to your left shoulder, you spiral it right across the top of your back to the right shoulder. So spiral it across. As it's spiraling across, reading your sentence, I am safe to be here. And then once it reaches your right shoulder, spiral it back again to your left one. I am worthy and deserving of peace and ease. And you're going to see your sentence spiral down the left side of your body. So down the left side of your chest and upper back, down the left side of your belly, reading your sentences, I'm safe to be here, I'm worthy and deserving of peace and ease, down the left side of your pelvis, down your left thigh, over your left knee, down your left calf, over your left ankle, and over your left foot, and then again seeing them shoot off into the distance or down into the ground. I'm going to repeat that. So just seeing your sentences with your eyes shut. I am safe to be here. I am worthy and deserving of peace and ease. And see them spiraling up your right hand, up your right arm, over your right elbow, over your upper arm, and when it gets to your right shoulder, spiral them across to your left one. I am safe to be here. Once it reaches your left shoulder, just spiral it back across to your right. I am worthy and deserving of peace and ease. We just do this area twice just because we store a lot in our shoulders, so we're just giving it a double go. And then spiral it down the right side of your chest and upper back. I am safe to be here. I am worthy and deserving of peace and ease. And your right side of your belly, your right side of your pelvis, your right thigh, over your right knee, down your right calf, over your right ankle, and over your right foot, and again seeing them shoot off into the distance or down into the ground, and again seeing them with your eyes shut, reading your sentences. I am safe to be here. I am worthy and deserving of peace and ease. And then what you're going to do is just imagine your sentences going outwards, and you just ask for your sentences to be sent across all time, space, realities, dimensions, and universes. And then lastly, we just finish off by seeing your sentences going across your chest. So imagine them in beautiful, big, white and gold letters going across your chest. I am safe to be here. I am worthy and deserving of peace and ease. And you can use this technique for anything. It works best if you try and change the sentences. So I've got another few examples here to give you, but you can bring in some of your own as well. Just make sure that in the present tense and in the positive. So it is I am safe rather than I'm not unsafe or I'm becoming safe. It is I am safe. So we also just finish off by thanking the Christ light, which I forgot to say. So we say, thank you, Christ light, for helping. So yeah, you can bring in your own, and if you can do it every day, that's brilliant. You can use it more than once a day. I mean, if you can only have time to do it a couple of times a week, that's better than nothing. So as often as you can. So I've just got another few examples here. I am worthy and deserving of ease, peace, love, and joy. I am significant. I matter. I choose to be all that I can be. I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am. I am lovable, enough, and divinely perfect, just as I am. I am the divine. Everything happens for a reason. I am capable and strong. Okay, so just do whatever you're drawn to and change the sentences around. So there's lots of other talks on my Facebook page that we've used this technique. There are lots of other different examples that I've given, so you can always look at those as well. But as I say, feel free to use any of your own as long as they're in the present tense and in the positive. Well, I hope you found that useful, and it was lovely to see you. Much love, many blessings from my heart to yours.